We are going to do some math on complex numbers. So our complex numbers can be written in either rectangular form or polar form. And we're going to use the TI-84 calculator to do this math. Okay, so our first step is with our calculator, we need to let's get it woken up here. We need to put it into rectangular form. So we're going to go to the mode and we're going to come down here where it says real and we're going to change it to A plus BI because rectangular form is going to be the A plus BI form and polar form is going to be the real part and then E to the angle up here, I. Okay, so those are our two forms. It's asking for rectangular form. So I'm going to click down and I'm going to get on the top of the A plus BI and hit enter to change that mode. And then I'm also going to, since my problem is in degrees, I'm going to change radians to degrees. Actually, I'm going to leave it on radians because we're going to set up, since our TI-84 calculator has problems doing complex math like this, we're going to set up a shortcut. And to do the shortcut, we need to leave it in radians first. So we're fine right here. We're going to exit our mode. And our shortcut is that we are going to store in a variable e raised to the I pi over 180. So this is going to work as a conversion for us and help us doing our complex math. So we're going to do e, which is right here. So second e raised to, and then we're going to do I, which is second decimal point, and then that's going to be times, and we're going to do pi over 180. So that's going to convert to radians for us. So on our TI-84, we have to work in radians when we're doing the polar form. All right, so I'm going to enter that, and that converts it into the rectangular form. And I'm going to store that. So I'm going to hit store, and I'm going to store that in E because that's going to just help me remember when I'm doing the polar form that I'm going to use E. So I'm going to store that in E. Okay, so that's just to help me out later when I do this math. Now I'm going to go back and I'm going to do this problem. But since I'm working and I have degrees, I'm going to go back and change my mode now to degrees. So I'm in radians. You can see right here I'm in radians. And I'm going to change my mode to degrees. All right, now I'm in degrees. I'm going to exit this. And now I'm going to do the math. And I should be able to enter it in pretty close exactly as it's written. So I'm going to do parentheses 4 plus, and I have J5, where we use I on the calculator, I5. I is the second in the decimal point. Close my parenthesis. And now I have it in polar form. So I'm going to do parentheses, and I'm going to do the 30, and I'm going to use that conversion number that I saved. So I'm going to do alpha E raised to, and I have 50 degrees, so 50. And I really didn't need these parentheses, but it's not going to hurt anything. And then I'm going to finish entering the problem as it's written. So minus 20 plus I 12. So minus 20 plus I 12. Hit enter. And that is my answer. If I don't want to see all these decimals, I can go here to mode and I can change right here under float to 2 or 3 decimals. So I'm going to do 2 decimals. I'm going to quit here and I'm going to just print that out again so it's a little bit easier to read. All right, so my answer here is minus 57.77 plus J 200.34. And in circuits, we're using J instead of I for complex numbers because we use I for current in circuits. So it's confusing. So we use a different letter. We use J. All right. We're going to move on and do this next question for B. So we'll clear out our calculator. And it starts out with it in polar. So we're going to do the 30. And we're going to use our little shortcut here where we do alpha E. And we're going to raise that to the angle, which is 85. And then minus, well, let's see, I got to get out of that exponent. So minus, and then I want to do parentheses so I can keep my numerator together. 2 plus I 50. And I want to divide all of that by 1 minus I. Close my parenthesis. And my calculator does the math for me. It's 26.61 plus 3.89. Don't forget our J, 3.89. All right. The next one, we're going to use our shortcut here where we do 5, alpha E, put in the angle, 10, plus, see, I got to get out of the exponent, plus 5 E minus 110 plus, oops, I need that minus 110 to be in the exponent. So I need to delete that out. So exponent minus 110 plus 5 E exponent 130 plus 14. And we get 14. And we have no imaginary part, so it's just 14 plus J0.